welcome, beloveds, to the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. MumbiSeraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you are moving into living life truly on your own terms. We want to thank every single person that supports us on our Patreon and our PayPal accounts. We couldn't do the show without you. And thanks to everyone that has subscribed to both the Dr. Mumbi Show and the Dr. Mumbi Live. Just make sure you haven't been unsubscribed. I've been getting a few messages and comments saying people are not getting the notifications, etc., etc. We know the drill. Now, there's a story I reported on, I think about maybe a year ago or a year and a half ago. I'll definitely attach it to this story about Renee Bach. And in case her name doesn't ring a bell, she is a U.S. missionary who basically packed her bags and moved to Uganda and opened up a children's clinic where she allegedly performed surgery with skills she had learned on YouTube on young children. Now, it is alleged that at least 100 children that are known died while in her clinic. Her clinic was called Save Her Souls. Is it Save His Children? And this white savior complex. So there's a campaign that was started by No White Saviors. It's a new advocacy group that's been started in Kampala. They've actually raised $16,000 and they're planning to sue her. But now, an interesting story, and this is what I was telling you guys, so much is trying to be slipped through the cracks during these times, because what's emerged is that she has actually settled out of court. And when I first heard this, I was like, what? Because a lot of you did tell me that you didn't feel she would really get any kind of justice or justice would be served in this situation. Many of you were pessimistic. I tried to remain optimistic, but this is so messed up. She has actually settled out of court. There is some good news. There is some good news tied into the story. So make sure you will listen to the end. So basically, her lawyers, they reached an out-of-court settlement with two mothers whose children died after being treated at the center that Renee ran. And without admitting any kind of liability, Renee and the organization she founded, Serving His Children, not Save His Children, Serving His Children, more like serving up his children, you know what I mean? They've agreed to 35 million Uganda shillings, which doesn't amount to much. So each one is going to get about 7,335 pounds, which is about $8,000, somewhere there, maybe just above $8,000. And this judgment was actually reached on Tuesday. And this is so depressing, because now they say that all the legal claims have been dropped in Uganda, although her organization, thank God, has been dissolved. That's another, we don't know if that was some kind of agreement reached behind closed doors, but that is another big win. We're hoping our governments will stop, especially with the whole, child trafficking saga that's going on in Hollywood right now. I'm really hoping our governments, at least you guys should have at least people who are spying on the West and knowing what's up there, so that we really shouldn't be allowing NGOs to come and open up and treat our children, or even allowing missionaries to come and just have access to our schools, our children, our villages. Well, anyway, our schools are now closed, and I really believe the education system will never be the same again, but those are stories for other days. So the good news, there is a silver lining in this, in this dark cloud, where justice could still be had, because, this organization that I told you guys, No White Saviors, is actually, there are 4 more families, that's what's up, that are considering taking action against Bach over the treatment of their children at her center. And, the big controversy, with people saying they're happy, etc., etc. They were happy with the payouts, and they said they mutually agreed not to pursue legal action against each other and fully release any and all claims that might exist. And I really believe this has something to do with the white savior complex that a lot of people have, like, how can I sue Mzungu? Anyway, the big controversy is that she performed medical interventions without a medical degree on who knows how many children. Some say 100, some allege 500, including blood transfusions. And, despite having no medical qualifications as either a doctor or a nurse. And, even when the Ugandan government found this out, she was still allowed to leave the country and return to the divided states. But it looks like her issues ain't over. And we're going to be keeping a close eye on this story. Up next is, in case this is the first time you're hearing it, up next is the story I had originally done when this story first emerged. And she literally, I don't know if she snuck out of the country or if she was already in the divided states when it emerged. But this isn't justice. Well, I guess they get money, unless all 100 sue and they really run them into the ground. That would be amazing. But let me know what you think about this. Do you think justice has been served by the fact that these two mothers got about $8,000 each, which is a lot of money in Uganda, but still. Let me know what you think. Until next time, tuko pamoja.
Wake up Africa, your time has come. Open up your eyes and see the sun. Open up your spirit. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up Africa.
Hello and welcome to Africa Watch on the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. MumbiSeraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I pray you're well in everything. I just hope everything is going absolutely fantastically for you and you're living your best life. Now, I've got a story that got me I even wanted to just throw this at someone for real. It got me so emotional. And it's all about this fake ass, white supremacist. She ain't even a doctor who at 18 moved into, one of the rural areas of Uganda and set up a clinic and was literally operating and doing all these things on kids allegedly. And now she's being sued. But the situation now is when I'm learning about this and I'm like, what? This is so insane. And I thank the gentleman that shared this story with me on Instagram. I really, really appreciate this because I'm just like, this had me so angry. So let me just back up a bit. So her name is Renee Bach. And she moved to Uganda and opened up an NGO in her house for critically ill children and children who were malnourished, and then directly started practicing medicine without any formal training. She'd never gone to any kind of med school. She'd never never received any kind of nursing certification, nothing. And it's this whole white savior complex where people just pack up a suitcase they have this white savior supremacy kind of missionary fantasy of coming to Africa and helping Africans, when in actual fact they actually create more of a mess like we see in this situation. So she read this book called Kisses from Katie, and Kisses from Katie was this book that it was a New York bestseller, New York Times bestseller, and it was this book about this white American girl who moved to Uganda and opened up an orphanage and kind of adopted about 14 girls, and then she ended up actually moving back with her husband, and now she's raising these 14 children. And she was, I think she had a teacher background. So after reading this, Renee decided, I want to move to Uganda. So she packed up her stuff. She went to Uganda. Apparently the first trip was really a bit quite hectic, but then she went back to the US, set up an NGO, put her family members and her family friends on the board, and started raising money to run her medical center for malnourished kids. And this is just a problem. So she started actively practicing medicine on children who came to her center, even though she had no medical training. Now, she has argued that she had medical staff, but she was personally treating the children. And you know how she learned her procedures? On YouTube. I mean, do you think a Ugandan girl aged 18 can pack her bags, head to rural Bumble nowhere, Bumble bleep, white America, and set up shop, actually just move into a house and then turn her house into a center where she's just treating people like nobody's business. It's totally insane. And what makes this matter worse is that the people, the missionaries who were with her, like the missionaries who were in that area, they started to suspect something was going wrong and something wasn't right, because they're alleging that hundreds and hundreds of children, some say even more than 500 children, have actually died in her care. And the good thing now is she's going to be sued, and I'll be sharing that in a little while, because I'm just like, this story was just, it had me thinking. It was so crazy. And you know what? She actually had, so she had a blog, right? And I think Serving His Children is the name of her NGO. And so she had this blog where she used to write, and she would actually write, oh, this kid came in with, I'm actually pulling it up because I have to share this. So as you can see with this picture, oh, this is just, I can't believe, this is heartbreaking. So she gets this child, and she's like, you know, this baby's name is Patricia. She's 9 months old, and she's fallen sick 3 weeks ago. Her mom had taken her to a health center, but there was no improvement. She continued to get worse despite any treatment. One of their relatives told them about a hospital in Masesa with a white doctor. So that Sunday morning, they left their home early and journeyed to Jinja in hope of finding anyone who could help their daughter.